Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Brinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Brinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Brinda. Isn't it wonderful? Just chanting the names of Chaitanya and Nityananda can bring us so much of joy and happiness to us. So the next 20 minutes or half an hour, whatever we have, when the lordships are getting dressed, let's spend a little bit of time to understand who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, what is his significant contribution, why should we know about him, and how knowing him can give us the highest benediction of our life. So there is a song that is written by Narottam Das Thakur where he says, Parama Karuna Pahundui Jana, Nitai Gaura Chandra. Parama Karuna, they have unlimited compassion. Parama Karuna Pahundui Jana, Nitai Gaura Chandra. Sabha Avatara Sara Siromani. They are not just incarnations, they are the Sara Siromani, they are the crest jewel of all incarnations. Sabha Avatara Sara Siromani, Kevala Ananda Kanda. They are just like, the Misri we say, the crystal sugar, like that they're Kevala Ananda Kanda. You touch it from anywhere, you only get bliss, you only get happiness. So, anybody knows why the Lord descends to this material world from Bhagavad Gita? Yada? Tadatmanam smrijamyaham. Isn't it? All of us, we know this. Yada, yada. Though the word in Sanskrit is same, the meaning is different. Whenever and wherever. So it doesn't matter just whenever, it's wherever also. Whenever and wherever there is a decline of religious principles, then the Lord comes down to re-establish the principles of religion. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Glani, dharmasya glani means the line which separates dharma and adharma becomes blurred. What is to be done, what is not to be done is completely misunderstood. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyurthanam adharmasya tadatmanam smrijamyaham. I descend to re-establish the principles of religion. Very interestingly, today in the morning we were hearing a beautiful class by Srila Prabhupada where another name of the Lord is, we will have a small quiz towards the end, so be attentive. And if you give answers, you'll get extra prasadam, some special prasadam. People who are going out will miss out on that. So, because Kali Yuga people, we always think, what is in it for me? Oh, you'll have tangible extra prasadam, the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So one of the names of the Lord which Prabhupada mentions is Tri Yuga. What is it called? Tri Yuga. Okay. So I'm sure all of you are familiar with the yugas or the duration of time which is cyclic in nature. There are 4 yugas: Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. So we are all in Satya Yuga, isn't it? Wonderful. I thought we are in Satya Yuga. All of you are devotees. You've come to the temple on a Thursday to celebrate Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. But are you sure it is Kali Yuga? Okay. So the Lord says the name of the Lord, which means Tri Yuga, that means the Lord appears in Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Dwapara Yuga. But he doesn't appear in Kali Yuga. So very interestingly, in Satya Yuga the Lord comes, in Treta Yuga the Lord comes, in Dwapara Yuga the Lord comes, but in Kali Yuga, where all of us we are born, the Lord also feels, oh my God, just leave them. He also washes his hand, like we were washing our hand. The Vashashava, these people have got so many demoniac tendencies, so many demoniac propensities. Let them do whatever they want to. Let them indulge in abominable activities. Lord doesn't come. Only once in the day of Brahma, when Krishna appears in Dwapara Yuga, followed by that, there are 2 incarnations who come in that Kali Yuga. So just to give you a small understanding of what this Brahma's one day is, anybody knows what is the duration of Kali Yuga? 4 lakh? Chorus में सब बोलते हैं, अकेला पूछो तो अभी चुप हो जाएंगे. 432,000 years, 4,32,000 years. Dwapara Yuga is twice of Kali Yuga. That is 8,64,000. You don't need to, if you are good at maths, you can do that. I am not asking that. And Tretya Yuga is 3 times of Kali Yuga. And Satya Yuga is 4 times of Kali Yuga. So this Satya, Tretya, Dwapara and Kali, this is called Mahayuga, 4, 3, 2, 1. So it becomes 10 times Kali Yuga. That is one Mahayuga. Like that, there are 1,000 Mahayugas in one day of Brahma. Okay? These are all important things. Keep in mind and see how rare our fortune is. And in one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manvantaras. There are 14 Manus who come. So the time gap between 2 Manus is called Manvantara. So you might be worshipping some Indra, Chandra, Varuna and all these demigods. They change their position at the end of every Manvantara. When the Manus change, the demigod's position also changes. These are all positions. They change their positions. So in one Manvantara, there are 71 Divya Yugas. Okay? So that roughly works out to 1,000 Divya Yugas in one day of Brahma. 71 Divya Yugas is the duration of one Manu. There are 14 Manus in one day of Brahma. And the total is 1,000 Divya Yugas. Are you all there? So far, so good. Now, the first Manu, anybody knows what is the name of the first Manu? Huh? No. Swayambhuva Manu. Who said that? Swayambhuva Manu is the first Manu. And then first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Seventh Manu is Vaibhaswata Manu, the present Manu. In that present Manu, when 28 Divya Yugas go, on the 28th Divya Yuga, on the Dwapara Yuga, Krishna comes, followed by that the Kali Yuga, where all of us are here. There are 2 incarnations of the Lord who come. Anybody can tell me exactly what I just repeated? What is when is when is Kali Yuga's incarnation going to come? Huh? No, you have to tell me exactly. A little bit, so that we know. If you repeat, you will remember, it will stay with you. Anybody wants to give it a try? Who understood it? Are you all there, what I just spoke? Who wants to try? Prasanna, your turn. You're sitting in the front. Ten times of that is one Mahayuga. One day of Brahma. Is one day of Brahma. Very good. There are 14 Manus. Very good. 71 Mahayugas. Not guess, we are. We are on the 7th Manu. His name is Vaibhaswata Manu. And the Dwapara Yuga has just gone where Krishna had appeared, and followed by that Kali Yuga, we are here. In that one day of Brahma, huge lifespan, one day, just one day, Krishna comes, followed by that Dwapara Yuga, 2 incarnations come. One is the most merciful incarnation, which is known as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki. Anybody knows who's the second incarnation? Is the Nama Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he descends, he brings the holy name, the Nama Prabhu. These are 2 incarnations, Prabhu, Mahaprabhu and Nama Prabhu. He brings the Nama Prabhu along with him. And with the help of this Nama Prabhu, we can perceive, we can experience the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So there is always a competition between these 2. Who is more merciful? Is it Nama Prabhu or Mahaprabhu? Very difficult to say. It's a big debate. Mahaprabhu brings the Nama Prabhu, and with the help of Nama Prabhu, we can experience the mercy of Mahaprabhu. So very interestingly, there is one verse of Chaitanya Charitamrita which says why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes. I would not like you to repeat because it's a difficult verse. I'll just read myself and I'll tell you what is the meaning of this verse and what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving and how fortunate we are. Anarpita charim chirat karunaya vatirnah kalo samarpaitum unvata jwala rasam swabhakti shriyam hari purata sundara dviti kadamba sandipitaha sada hridaya kandare spruhatu vah sachinandana. Anarpita charim chirat. From a very, very long time, something has not been given to us. First of all, we need to understand from this verse is, the Lord doesn't come just like the way we have taken birth. Is there anybody sitting here, if you are really honest, can you raise hands, that you chose to take birth? Decided, time for me to show my Leela. And you chose your parents and you came out of this, womb of your mother and said, now I am here. Anybody? None of us, isn't it? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord, somebody is laughing. Yeah, that's true. We are not, we are forced to take birth. But the Lord, when He comes, He descends out of His own causeless mercy. There's the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam which describes the Lord as Swarat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadasya Yatah Anvayad Itaratas Chartheshu Abhigya Swarat. He is completely independent. There is nothing which is forcing Him to take birth. But He comes, and He comes because of His causeless mercy. He descends. Nobody can force Him. Somebody says, no, Advaita Acharya prayed. Yes, he got bound by the prayer of his pure devotee by his causeless mercy. Just to exhibit his causeless mercy, he gets bound by the prayers of his pure devotee and he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We are forced to, this whole material world is forced by his direction. We are forced to grow old. We are forced to take birth. We are forced to die. We are forced to get diseased. There is time which is acting on us. There are three modes of material nature which is acting on us. There is this external energy of the Lord which is acting on us. We are forced. The Lord is independent. He is the force from whom everything is coming. That Lord, out of His own sweet will, descends. Anarpita charim chirat. For a long time, what has not been given, He wants to give that. Very interestingly, when the Lord comes, it is extremely auspicious for all the conditioned living entities. Very, very auspicious, because the Lord has come. Why does He come? What is His reason? What is the purpose of His coming? And what is it that is not given? So many incarnations which are coming, we have heard about them. Narsimhadev has come, Lord Ram has come, Matsya Avatar has come, Kurma Avatar has come. What is it that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving which is so special? Well, here lies the whole key, the point. Maybe Narsimhadev is there, maybe Lord Ram has come. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, he gives something which has never been given so far. How is it possible? Here you pay attention, very important. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes and he gives something called Sabai Pumsam Paro Dharmo. He gives that Paro Dharmo. Sabai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yata Bhaktir Adhokshaje Ahetuki Apratihata Yenatma Suprasidati. He gives a Paro Dharma by which each one of us can get completely satisfied, fully, to the highest, to the brink, like to the limit, we can get satisfied. How does a person get satisfied? And what is it that we don't have, that if we get it from the Lord, we will become satisfied? Because all of us, we are looking for satisfaction. Satisfaction comes by enjoying rasa in different relationships. You are my friend, you are my father, you are my mother, you are my wife, you are my husband. All these different relationships when we have, and we exchange rasas with them, then we get satisfaction. Unfortunately, a material world, the relationships that we have cannot give us satisfaction. Instead of satisfaction, it gives us three things. How many things? Raga, Bhaya, and Krodha. Raga is attachment, Bhaya is fear, Krodha is anger. That's why there is a verse, there are many places in Bhagavad Gita where it is mentioned, Krishna says, Bhita raga bhaya krodha, manmaya mam upasrita, bahubo jnana tapasa, puta madbhava magata. Bhita raga, give up this attachment, give up this fear, give up this krodha, anger. Bahubo jnana tapasa. If you take up to this transcendental knowledge, you will become purified. Puta madbhava magata, and you will achieve mind transcendental state. So the Lord descends, and He gives us this one thing by which we can establish our relationship with the Supreme Lord. That deep-rooted desire that we have to enjoy in different relationships can be completely satisfied by re-establishing our relationship with the Lord. And when we do that, we experience the highest satisfaction. Highest satisfaction. One interesting thing which we have to pay attention is that, we sometimes wonder, why should I establish my relationship with the Lord? What is the need? Why should I do that? I am happy in my life. I've got my family, I've got my job, I've got my career, I've got this thing, I've got boyfriend, I've got girlfriend, I've got so many responsibilities, I'm happy. Why do I need God? Very important to know this. Very, very important. Anybody sitting here is a doctor by profession, a physician? Nobody? Anybody who has never gone to a doctor in his life? I thought maybe somebody will be there who will say, no, I've never been to a doctor, bro. All of us, we have seen a doctor, right? In India, the doctors, when they pass out from some government college, where the fees are very less, they're given a short-term, position in some village. They have to go and work in some village for some time. Because, the fees are subsidized, it's a government college, and they're passing out, and everybody wants to be in city and wants to have nice enjoyment, nice life. But they mandatorily, compulsorily give them a position or this thing in some government hospital. Now imagine one of you, whoever it is, that doctor, he has been placed in one government hospital in a village. Okay? So you go there and then you see that the village is very crowded. Fortunately we have so many people who have come today on Gaura Purnima. So it's very crowded. So you decide, if you have to buy some groceries or vegetables, instead of using some normal conveyance, you will use the ambulance. So the ambulance goes with the red light, this thing, everybody is giving way, and you go and buy your vegetables, everything, and then you come back. And after some time, as it so happens, you're a doctor, everybody wants to marry a doctor, so you get married, right? And you have a child, and the child has to go to the school. What else? What can be a better conveyance than the ambulance? The ambulance goes directly, it reaches the school, and then it comes back. Right? And after some times, your wife who's there in the village gets frustrated, thinks that I should have a washing machine. The washing machine is not nearly available in the village. So she has to travel to a city somewhere. So the ambulance has been taken for bringing the washing machine. It's taking a long time. And when the ambulance comes back, you ask the driver, what happened? Did you not take the ambulance this time? I took, sir, I took. Achha, you took? Then what happened? Why it took so long time? Was the red light not on? Yes, the red light was also not on. The red light was also on. So then why did it take so much of time? I said, no, it would have taken longer time just because the red light was on, and just because we had taken the ambulance, we could come back 1 hour before. Hearing this, you could have understood, even some of you are laughing and this thing. This is the wrong use of the ambulance. Imagine at that time when that ambulance is being used for getting a washing machine, if somebody falls sick or somebody is in emergency, there is no ambulance. Right? We may laugh at this situation, but something similar to that we are doing. For our existence, the Lord has given us so many things. Now all of us, after some time, we will all sleep. Morning, when it happens, right time, the sun comes from the eastern horizon. Now, just because the sun is not there, we've got so many varieties of lights, isn't it? Even for Abhishekam, we have to put some focus light, this, that. When the sun rises, you don't need any lights. None of these lights are required. It gives continuous energy. The scientists are, they're scratching their head to find out what is it that the sun has. Produces unlimited energy in terms of heat and light. Not just the sun. We breathe. We are breathing, and this breathing, it has got oxygen. This air is available. Without that, we can't live. And with the sun and the air and the rain, there comes the grain. We get some potatoes, we get some tomatoes, we get some grain with which we live. We can't live on any machines. And working in a factory, whatever we are producing, with that we can't live. And these tomatoes and these potatoes or grains, they're coming from the soil. What is their ingredient? They take sun, air, and light, and that's how they produce all these things on which we are subsisting. Everything in our life, whatever we need, is given by the Lord. But there is a reason why the Lord is giving this. Without knowing that, like that doctor, there is a reason that ambulance has been given to him. Without knowing that, using it for all other things is a criminal waste of time, criminal waste of resource. Something like that we are also doing. A rare, very rare human form of life has been given to us. Whatever our needs, the Lord is supplying that. So our goal, our objective in life is to align with the Lord's plan. Align ourselves. And that aligning with the Lord is called Sharanagati. When we align ourselves, when we understand what our position is, how dependent we are, and we align with the Lord wants to deliver us. He wants to take us back from these miseries that are inflicted upon us. We don't deserve it, and the Lord knows, but we don't want to align. We are busy in our own life. We are taking that ambulance for something else, and we are fully engrossed. And this is how the time goes by, and we don't realize, and ultimately death comes, and then this cycle of birth and death continues. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, out of great compassion, because Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, he says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja. Come back, take shelter of me. Give up all your obligations, responsibilities that you have created for yourself. Forget about it. Just surrender. And he goes back. But people like us, or people who came after Bhagavad Gita was spoken, they are scratching their head as to how to surrender. Surrender kaise karna hai? We don't know that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes as a devotee to exhibit, to show how we can surrender to the Lord. The best and the simplest method which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives is take shelter of Nama Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. See, imagine, how many of you watch some TV shows where some items are cooked, are shown, like some recipes, some cook shows? Anybody who has seen that? Okay, may not be seeing it for learning, but you have seen it, right, in general. At least 2 people are honestly raising hands. So what about others? So okay, all of you, some of you, maybe. So imagine you are watching a TV show in which the host has gone to a very expert chef, like a Sanjeev Kapoor or someone, and then Sanjeev Kapoor with his nice apron and all, he says, today I'm going to show you how to make gulab jamun, okay? Gulab jamun, the moment that you have tasted somewhere and you think, oh my God, if I get to know this, how to make, I'll also make myself. So he'll say, gulab jamun, and so these are the ingredients which you need. This is the recipe, this is the method that you have to follow. And after all these things, they boil it for this time, this much of time, this with low heat, all those things you follow, and then finally they'll show you gulab jamun. Who's eating that? The host will eat, and the cook who has eaten, wow. They'll say, wow, so nice. You are thinking, oh my God, I am sitting here. I also want to experience that gulab jamun. But gulab jamun is being enjoyed by that host and the cook, the chef. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he comes here, he just doesn't show you like this. Krishna said, you give it up. But how to do that? He didn't show it. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu not only comes, he puts that gulab jamun in our mouth, and he says, you do like this. You're experiencing the softness, the taste is coming? Yes. And then you gulp it. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did. Anarpita charim chirand. Anarpita. For a very long time, this has not been given. Experiencing direct Krishna Prem. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes and gives this. Actually, sometimes, some people are so unfortunate, they don't understand what great fortune is being bestowed upon them. They don't understand. So rare it is, so rare. There is a story which I was sharing yesterday. Lord Shiva once had a compassion or pity on one beggar. This beggar was asking, crying, Lord Shiva, please. He was a devotee of Lord Shiva. And he was a beggar. He was there right next to a road and crying out, oh, Allah ke, oh, Bhagwan ke naam pe de, Shiva ke naam pe de, and all those things he will do. Right next to a traffic signal, the vehicles are passing, the smoke is falling on him, the scorching heat, on the hostile weather, sometimes snow, sometimes rain, all these things he's tolerating and just begging. Parvati told Shiva, Are, your bhakta, your devotee, is in so much of distress. Why don't you do something for him? You are Asutosh, you get pleased so easily. This fellow has been, crying out, asking for help for so long. Why don't you help him? He said, there are some people who are so unfortunate. Even if you give him something, they will not understand the value. And he said, I will practically demonstrate this for you. Lord Shiva comes in disguise, comes to this planet Earth, brings a big watermelon. Inside that watermelon, he had put a nice, very expensive jewelry. And he gives it to this beggar. What do you think the beggar would have done? Huh? He would have danced in ecstasy. Oh, I got a watermelon. What a day, my God. No. Instead of that, he started cribbing and said, what fellow is this? Oh, everything in the world he found on watermelon and he has given it to me. As you rightly said, some of you, he went and sold it off. Our fortune is like that. We are those beggars who are struggling in this material world, trying to improve our material conditions without knowing the real value, the jewel has been given to us in the form of this Nama Prabhu. Wonderful gift. This Nama, if you take it, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is freely distributing. We can experience that Krishna Prema. In this verse, with these 2 minutes we will close. In this verse, Jiva Goswami has written a commentary. And he's saying, if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving this so freely, and it is available to all of us, why are we not experiencing it? What is it that is stopping us to experience this? So, Jiva Goswami, in his Bhakti Sandarbha, says there are 3 things which is preventing us from experiencing this Krishna Prema. You want to know what are those 3 things? So, the 3 things that Jiva Goswami mentions is something related to kapata. Kapata means duplicity. So, 3 kapatas that he talks about. The first and the foremost is the dhana kapata. Dhana kapata. The second is bala kapata. And the third is prema kapata. Dhana kapata, bala kapata, prema kapata. What is dhana kapata? Dhana kapata is people want to keep their money with them. No matter, doesn't matter what it is. They want to preserve it for their own sake, for own sense gratification. 1 for Krishna, 2 for me. 2 for Krishna, not 4 for me. More for me, if I'm giving. So Krishna sees how much you are holding back. How much you are holding back. When it is sarva dharman parityajya, you want to experience that Krishna prem. Forget about all these pursuits of your material prosperity and this thing. Whatever, manasa deha geho jo kichu moro, orpilu tuha pade nanda kishore. Orpilu tuha pade. You want to really experience that thing. Just surrender. Surrender means giving it up. Giving it up, and then you experience it. So first is dhana kapata. Second is bala kapata. Bala kapata means somebody has got some talent, some energy, some physical strength, or whatever it is. Instead of using it for Krishna's service, they use it in some other thing. Somebody is playing cricket, somebody is doing something, somebody is busy in some other things. Bala kapata. Bala they are not using in Krishna's service. And the final one, even if somebody has overcome dhana kapata, bala kapata, last one is prema kapata. What does that mean? People come here. They also maybe give some money, grudgingly, whatever it is, willingly. Bala also they use. But the heart is not there with Krishna. Heart is somewhere else. The heart which is driving what needs to be done, that is in some other place. That is why they are not able to experience Krishna Prema. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Sikshastakam, 3rd verse, he says, Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. If you really have to give up something, give up this expectation of appreciation by others. You see, there are some subtle things which we do, which we don't know. The moment we see that there is a chance for me to become the cynosure of all eyes, somehow pushing everybody, I want to come to the front, right? So that people can see me. Oh, I'm doing so much of seva, so much this thing. This tendency, it's not that I have to see it in somebody else. I have to look within and see. The expectation of appreciation or recognition of my service or whatever I'm doing is something which we have to give up. Intolerance, we have to give up. False pride, where I feel I am so big, because of me everything is happening. How these foolish people don't recognize my talent? All those things I have to give them. Trunadapi sunichena, humbler than the grass. Tarorapi sahishnuna, more tolerant than the tree. Amanina manadena, never expecting respect for ourselves, but giving respect to everyone. Kirtaniya sadahari. We will be able to do this Hari Kirtan. So on this wonderful auspicious day of Gaura Purnima, we are ready with the dressing, hopefully. When we have come here, I don't know what brought you here, maybe out of curiosity, maybe somebody told you, maybe you didn't know, but you have come. I'm telling you, you are the most fortunate person, most. And those of you who did some extra austerity of having fasted today, those of you who did some more extra austerity of going around the temple with the palaki of Nitai Gauranga, though it was cold, I also felt that cold, but we did that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sees this. In fact, our biggest disqualification becomes our biggest qualification. Mosama patita prabhu napaive ara. Ar kabe, no, what is that? Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, daya kare moro, mosama patita prabhu napaive ara. I am the most fallen. If you have to make a list of people who are degraded, fallen, my name comes the first. I've got all sinful things in my heart, filled, koot ke bhara hua hai, deeply rooted. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't see that. He sees that this person has come today. He wants to take up to this path of devotion. He blesses. That is why he is called Namo Mahavadanyaya, most merciful incarnation. What we have done in the past is all forgiven by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If we sincerely take up to this process of Nama, the Nama Prabhu, take the shelter of that, we can experience that Krishna Prema, we can get purified from this material existence and go back home, back to Godhead. So, on this auspicious day, they say that any method that you take, it should stand the test of Desha, Kala, Patra. Right? It should stand the test of Kala, Desha or Patra. Kala means time. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's second verse of Sikshastakam, it says, Namna Makari Bahudha Nija Sarva Saktis Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha. There is no question of time. Whether you are young, old, you are about to die, you have taken birth, or at this time, that time, there is no question of auspiciousness or inauspiciousness. Any time you can take. Unfortunately, we are in the worst of time. This is Kali Yuga, worst of place, and we are the worst Patra. Patra is who's receiving. Everything is worst. But because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's presence, everything becomes auspicious. Everything. And we are so fortunate that because of Srila Prabhupada, this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy is accessible to us. But so unfortunate, like that beggar, or like that, doctor who's using the ambulance for all other things. We are also busy doing that for all other purpose. My humble, sincere request is, on this day of Gaura Purnima, appearance day of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the most merciful incarnation, do little introspection. Don't do it for anybody's sake. Do it for yourself. And see what is going on in your heart. What is the truth that you have to follow? How long you want to get cheated in this material world? And why you are not taking this seriously? It's a wonderful opportunity that, pray to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so that he allows you to take shelter of Nama Prabhu. There is offenses against Nama Prabhu, but there is no offense against Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He forgives all our mistakes, all our sinful things, and gives us shelter. So, ready? So, We will have now Aarti. So before you leave, do an introspection, do a soul searching. See what's going on, what is driving you, what is in the heart. Is there, this kapatas that I was mentioning, dhana kapata, bala kapata, and prema kapata are there? Why am I not able to experience this? Actually, each one of us can experience this unlimited source of happiness available to us by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We'll stop here and chant once this mantra and then we'll go. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki Gaur Purnima Mahamotsav ki Srila Prabhupada ki Nitai Gaur Prema